within one word, I would say that the little door transports you. It's like a meditation. You are coming here and you really you forget, and that's what I say all the time, you forget about your problems. It's all the senses. I'm trying to put all the senses right in that environment.
Welcome guys to the Little Door. My name is Jonathan Portela. I'm the new executive chef over here. I'm joined with my sous chef Charles. So the dish that we're going to demonstrate today is the octopus dish. It's very popular. It utilizes all the parts of the octopus, from the tentacles to the heads. We're going to go ahead and run through the whole process, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So at this time we're going to go ahead and start building some flavor. The flavor is going to be brought in by nice herbs as well as mirepoix. Mirepoix being celery, carrot, and onion. That's going to be our base of a pot. But we're also going to be throwing in pineapple, which brings in bromelain. It's a enzyme that is very prevalent in pineapple. That's why we put it in there. But also we're going to be adding a nice little sweetness that helps with the caramelization on the grill. Got our mirepoix right here. We're going to put it right at the base. Make sure you have a little bit of thyme in there. Any herbs would go really, really well. I got a little bit of rosemary, as you see, and some bay leaf. No need to peel the pineapple. It's going to bring a little bit more extra enzyme that's going to really break down the tender tentacles. Alrighty guys, so here we got this beautiful octopus. It's coming from the border of Spain and Portugal. It's a fairly big size. I would say it's about a good 6-pounder. Now we're going to go in with our octopus. Cool. I'm going to place it right in there. So naturally the octopus is going to go ahead and release its water, but we're going to go ahead and help it out with just a little bit of water. Just making sure that we don't completely submerge the octopus, because it's going to go ahead and disperse its own liquid to just really flavor all this liquid. Hence we use the liquid at the sabayon stage to really just bring out that beautiful octopus flavor. About 55 minutes have elapsed. As you see, the octopus has really shrunken down. So we're going to go ahead and put it right onto a resting rack, and we're going to go ahead and cool that down. So you really want to watch out for this beak. If you bite down into that, it's going to be not a pleasant bite. We're going to go ahead and take that out, cut the tentacles, and we're going to get into grilling. Alrighty guys, so here we got our reserved liquid. This is the braising liquid from the octopus once again, but I reduced it down just to go ahead and just give you that more strong punch of octopus. In there you're going to see a little bit of butter that we're going to go ahead and emulsify up with an egg. So we're going to go ahead and put it in our bain-marie. We're going to add our egg. It's going to add a little bit of frothiness as well as the emulsifying agent to just really make it really nice and thick on the plate. Now I have a little bit of xanthan and modified tapioca starch. So now we're going to go ahead and emulsify it up. Make sure everything is homogeneous. And you're actually going to go ahead and see it thicken up. And that right there is actually looking really beautiful. Now from here, we want to go ahead and just up the flavor just a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and grab our smoking gun, and we're going to smoke it with half hickory and half applewood. So here, we're going to grab our smoking gun, grab our torch. We're going to go ahead and prepare our vessel that we emulsified in with a little bit of cling wrap. Smoking guns are very useful because you're allowed to smoke without really inducing too much heat. Super quick, super easy, and huge results. Just a little bit of hickory just to give you a little bit stronger punch of wood, but the apple's also just going to give you a nice mellow, almost sweetness. So we're going to go ahead and close that up, and we're going to leave that be for about 20 minutes until it just really permeates into the sabayon, and it's also really going to permeate into the butter that we added. So for this recipe, I have in my Roboku 200 grams of tapioca starch, and I got also 250 grams of my heads. Again, the beak is taken out. This is where the beak comes from. We're gonna make a quick little slurry with 50 grams of tapioca starch. And then we have more of that reserved poaching liquid for the octopus. We're going to go ahead and add it to our slurry. This was right here 100 milliliters. So now that we got our slurry ready, we're going to go ahead and start pulverizing the head. We're going to puree it to a nice fine paste with more of the tapioca starch. Again, that's 200 grams right in here. At this stage, it's nice and crumbly. We're going to go ahead and add our slurry. Add the liquid and make it into an actual paste slash dough. So as you see, this is looking fairly amazing. Nice distributed dough. And now we're going to pull that out. Try to get everything out of there. We're going to go right onto a table. And we're going to utilize the natural friction from the table to go ahead and just form it into this really nice tight log, so that when we go ahead and steam and then later cut, we have a really nice chip, so that we're able to fry it up and it just puffs up to a whole different state. Let's go to the steamer. So we got a good amount of water at a nice raging boil. So here, just gonna go ahead and put it right in there. And then we're gonna go ahead and steam that for 2 hours. Alrighty guys, so 2 hours has elapsed. It's looking really good. So when you see it at this stage, you're a really happy chef. It's been fully hydrated. It's looking really nice, translucent, still a little wet. So the key to this is to make it as thin as possible, so that we're able to get a nice even dry on it. And then you got a really beautiful crispy crackling, kind of reminiscent of a pork rind. And we'll see the end result very soon. So get a nice knife. You're gonna shave it down as thin as possible. If we can utilize everything and make a dish so much more complete and so much more delicious, why not do so? So I'm gonna go ahead and lay it down on the tray. And it looks like we're ready for the dehydrator. Alrighty guys, so I got my dehydrator over here set at 135. I'm gonna go right into the dehydrator. And these guys are actually gonna hang out for no less than 12 hours. Alrighty, so we got some chips here that have been in the dehydrator for 12 hours. We're gonna go ahead and fry it up. So I have my fryer set at 375, and we're gonna go ahead and just submerge it right in there. And then we're gonna go ahead and watch it puff up and turn into this beautiful chicharron. Chicharron being pork rind, meaning it's gonna have the same texture, no meat involved. So now we got this really nice airy crackling, nicely puffed. It's gonna add a nice reinforcement of the octopus flavor and a nice crunch to the dish. So now we're gonna go right into our next element. This is going to be a panisse, which is a chickpea cake. It's made with some ground chickpea flour. We induce a little bit of the rosemary and thyme in here just for a little bit of herbaceousness. And we also got a little bit of spiciness going in with our house-made harissa.
We get the chickpea flour, add it to the pot, and we get our water. Make sure the measurements are to 3 to 1. You turn on the heat, and while it's cooking and boiling down, we gotta make sure it's nice and incorporated and it won't stick in the bottom. So while it's nice and loose, we keep on whisking it until it gets nice and thick. Make sure the whisking doesn't stop, or else it will stick and it will burn in the bottom and it won't be usable.
It's definitely a labor of love, huh? So the closest thing that kind of resembles this would be polenta. Polenta is done in the same manner. We're utilizing the starch, in this instance the chickpea flour, and we're then going to go ahead and set it. but we first have to go ahead and hydrate it. So that's what's happening right now. We have to have constant movement, making sure that it's all incorporated. And shortly we're gonna go ahead and see it stiffen up. So as you see, we are actually getting to a nice thick stage.
As soon as we get past the half point and the sauce gets thicker, it actually comes into a thick mold. We switch from a whisk to a rubber spatula. And make sure we're constantly stirring it as well to make sure it still doesn't stick to the bottom and it gets fully incorporated with itself. So once it's around this consistency for thickness, we add in our house-made harissa, some salt, incorporate it all together. And lastly, we add some chopped rosemary. It's all gonna give a nice hint of spice, velvety, great taste. And completely coat it all around. So once it cools down, it'll just slide right off instead of sticking to the pan and breaking apart. All that time and work. Don't forget to scrape every end, every edge. Once that's done, drop it to get all the air bubbles out. Make sure it's nice and smooth. If you have to, fix it a little bit. Alright, we're gonna cool it down and portion it out. Cool it down for at least 20 to 30 minutes until it's nice and solidified and cold, and we can take out our portions and deep fry them.
Alright guys, so now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. We've taken care of our head. We've utilized our jus from the octopus, and now we're just ready to go ahead and add a little bit of a char to this nice tentacle. So I like to go straight on, right in the hottest part of the grill, and just make sure that we're heating through the whole octopus. This is going to be about, say, about 10 to 11 minutes, about 6 minutes on each side. The best thing about octopus is that you can go ahead and poach off a couple days in the head, and always have legs to kind of just enjoy as you see fit. Alrighty guys, so we got this beautiful char. This is what we're looking for. Got a nice caramelization on there. That's gonna come through because of that pineapple that we went with. See this nice charred action right here. I'm really happy with this. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on our sizzle platter. I'm gonna get to cutting this guy. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it on a bias. Just gonna make the meat a little bit more tender. The proteins kind of run this way, so I'm gonna go ahead and go against it, but it's also gonna be a really nice bite, and aesthetically it's gonna actually add to the dish as well, which we'll see very soon. So now we're gonna get into our panisse. Our panisse is set up really beautifully. We're gonna go ahead and punch it out. For this plate, 3 would suffice. Nice rounds on there. We're gonna go ahead and throw it into our fryer. Gonna get a nice golden brown and delicious. Gonna go ahead and throw a little bit of our Portuguese chorizo in there as well. So while we're waiting on our panisse to get nice and golden brown and delicious, we're gonna go ahead and charge our sabayon. So our sabayon's here. This is the jus that we've tightened up with a little bit of egg, starch, and xanthan, and we then smoked it. And now we're just gonna put it through a ISI canister, and we're gonna charge it up twice. Make sure it's shaken up. We got 2. Chorizo's nice golden and delicious, as well as our panisse. Gonna go right onto a nice paper towel, just to go ahead and dab out any extra oil. Alrighty guys, so now we're ready to plate. We got our mise en place in place. So we're gonna go for a very straightforward kind of rustic plating, just so we lead the diner into that perfect bite every time. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with our nice golden brown panisse. That's gonna be the base. Now we're gonna layer our beautiful octopus that we grilled off. Again, just keeping in mind that we're building that perfect bite every time. We're gonna position it in a way where you give the plate a little dimension, a little bit of height. So here we start to build some flavor. So I got a little bit of a salsa verde right here. It's gonna add that nice chlorophyll-y, palate cleansing acidity. We got a little bit of our pickled mustard seed. Gonna add that bit of earthiness. Again, gonna round out with a little bit of bitterness and acid. That acid is gonna really play well with this beautiful chorizo from Portugal. Again, plating in a way where we could just go ahead and build the same bite, perfect bite every time. So here we got a little bit of lemon puree that's made with the peels of the lemon. This actually has no acid. This is gonna bring in that floral lemony flavor. Got a little bit of a garlic aioli that we're gonna put right on the side. And also on the actual pulpo octopus. And now we're just gonna go ahead and finish it off with a little bit of herbs. So for this dish, I think a little bit of the anise quality of chervil complements it very well. Again, making sure that each bite is the same. Hence, we're putting it throughout. Always thinking about that perfect bite. Cool. And now we're just gonna go ahead and finish it off with our beautiful octopus chip made from the heads. Once again, just making sure that the dish really utilizes all of the beautiful octopus and comes through cleanly. And staying in with that concept, we do have our sabayon that we made from the Jew. This is our smoked sabayon. Just go ahead and reinforce that smoky flavor that we get from the grilling of the octopus. And here we go. This is our completed octopus dish. Enjoy.
I cannot wait for people to try what we do. Really, I'm blown away.